Nothing quite like being in your car driving back from a movie theater. All right, so it's all Thunderbolts. Or is it Thunderbolts asterisk? So, we'll go to some of the good parts. Yelena, strong. Whether against Florence Pugh is a strong actress. I liked what she did with her character. Really, really loved what they did with the Sentry. That's the Bob that everyone talks about. And if you know about the Sentry, they do a good job with both aspects of the character. I'll just say that. They actually gave him closer to the comic book origin, which was nice. The dealing with mental health, they did a pretty good job with it, all in all. Is this the home run people were hoping for? No, this is a base hit. This might even be considered a double, depending on what you thought of Brave New World. I do wish if they were trying to be more serious, and this one dealing with the mental health aspects and all that, dealing with grief, abandonment, loneliness, all of those attributes, if they would tone down a little bit with some of the comedy. If you're going to compare this to like Captain America 2 Winter Soldier, there's not, Winter Soldier had some moments of levity, but it was taken seriously. This one, I almost thought they had a little bit too much in the way of jokes. Some of them landed really well, other ones not so much. I would say this is closer to like a Guardians of the Galaxy in the fact that the ensemble cast works really well. You had some nice solid performances. Do I think they neutered anybody? Actually, no. A lot of people kind of made comments about U.S. Agent didn't do enough, and he was characterized in a similar way as to how he was in Captain America and Winter Soldier, or Falcon and Winter Soldier. Sorry. The political side of things, it felt like they could have probably developed that more or developed it less. The political impeachment side. That aspect, I'm like, either you make the movie like 10 minutes longer and you deal with that, or you shorten the runtime by 10 minutes and you kind of remove some of those aspects. All in all, I thought it was pretty good. But then again, I was a fan of Sentry in the comics, and I was like, how are you going to do him live action? He's a really bizarre character to try to get into a movie while at the same time trying to establish a team. I was fine with Red Guardian being the comedic aspect. I'm fine with that. And you see a lot of that very early on from the trailers and all that. So overall, if you're on the fence about seeing it, I could see if you want to see it in theaters, this is a matinee. I know it's available in 3D. I don't think you need to see it in 3D unless you want to see, people become shadows in 3D. Fight sequences were actually done pretty well. I like how they went with the street lethal side of things, but then the person they're dealing with is incredibly powerful. Love the suit they did for the Sentry. I like the design of it. The person they got to play him was fantastic. There was some great acting in this. Dialogue was better than most of the recent Marvel things, which isn't really saying much. So, if you're on the fence, it's not horrible, it's not amazing, but it's good. Which is a horrible thing to say, because you're so used to being like, it's a Marvel franchise, Marvel film, it should be fantastic, it should be amazing, and so we're just like, it's good. It's better than what Marvel's done for a while. Which, if you're not a fan of Marvel's done for a while, this might still be kind of a miss for you. When it comes to the post-credit scenes, so your mid-credit scene, that is your gag, but like most of the gag ones, it's talked about earlier in the film, and then you can see it, and it's fine. I like the fact that I like the music they picked for that section. And then the end credit definitely sets up a lot of what's going to go on in whatever phase we're in now. And that seems like that is the more impressive thing. The movie itself is fine. It's not horrible. It's not amazing. It's a good, solid effort. But the second post-credit scene which you can find it on YouTube. It's not hard to find. You'll be able to find it in decent quality or in English, but it exists. That really sets up where they're going in a much better sense than some of the other ones. They mentioned that they're not the only team, which I thought was kind of interesting. Because, they're not all of the superheroes, but there are a lot that they are able to get together at that point in time. It's interesting to see how they end up, filling out ranks for potentially other teams with the remaining superheroes. So, I thought this one was pretty good. Is this a course correct? Yeah. But now I'm really interested to see where they go with Fantastic Four. If Fantastic Four is able to keep this trajectory, I think Marvel could be on their way of regaining some of the ground that they have undeniably lost over the past several years.